No, I think it is time so we can begin our Pitt County Human Relations Commission's meeting 2022 January 18th. Let us begin our meeting. Secretary, can you have a roll calls?
Yes, sir. Mark Rasdorf. Vice Chair Ivory Mewborn. Okay. Mr. Carl Wilson.
Excuse me, did you get my hair, Valerie?
No, I'm sorry, I
was
did
on
not hear
mute.
you. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Carl Wilson. You'll just need to unmute yourself, Mr. Wilson.
Here.
Okay. Tony Moore. John Moore. LaChauncey Staten. Augustine Frazier. Mr. John Moore, I'm sorry. Did you hear me call your name? I didn't hear you. Think you're muted.
You're gonna have to, everybody's gonna have to respond verbally.
Yep. Sorry, you'll just have to unmute really quick, Mr. Moore. I'll come back to you while you get that. Augustine Frazier. Juan Garcia.
Here.
Okay. Chairman Byung Lee.
I'm here.
All right. Amy Haddam.
Here.
Okay. Pastor Andrew Shue.
Here.
Okay. Commissioner Mary Perkins Williams.
Here.
Okay. Chantel Hawkins.
I'm here.
Okay. Carlton Dawson. Okay. Luther Hemby. Excuse me, Pastor, Reverend. Sorry.
Here. You're fine. Thank you.
Valerie Sugar here. Susan Ellsworth.
Here.
Okay. Phoenix Henson.
Here.
Okay. Ginger Little. Theodore Bowles. Okay, and let me go right back to Mr. John Moore.
Here.
All right. So really quick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Valerie,
6,
would you mind calling Mark again? He joined and.
Okay. Mark Rasdorf.
Here.
Okay. And Mark, I do not see your video. If you could just announce your name and then state that you're present.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Mark Rasdorf, present.
Okay. All right. And Chairman Lee, we have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming to our meeting through the Zoom. It is exciting we can able to do through the Zoom meeting. And Karina DeLoche sent out our last meeting minute. I'm sure you had a chance to read about it. Do you have any questions or any corrections to make? If you see any questions or if you need to make any correction, please let us know. Let me know. If there's no correction, our minutes will stand approved. Do you have a motions?
Make a motion.
Okay, any seconds?
A second.
Okay, there's a motion approved. Okay, we do have this, looks like a new member. Karina Deloche, can you introduce about our new members?
Oh, Chairman Lee, I'll just need to do the roll call. Are we approving the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I will just need to do a roll call really quick just to get those approved, okay? So I'm just gonna go through the roster and then you just vote yes or no, okay? Mark Rasdorf,
Yes.
okay, and if you'll just announce your name, please,
Mark Rasdorf, yes.
okay? Ivory Newborn,
Yes, Ivory Newborn.
okay? Carl Wilson,
Yes, Carl Wilson.
John Moore, Mr. John Moore,
I said yes.
okay,
Problem here tonight. I'm gonna have to use hand signals.
okay, sorry about that. Juan Garcia,
Yes.
okay. Young Lee,
Yes.
Amy Haddam,
Amy Haddam, yes.
Andrew Shue,
Andrew Shue, yes.
Commissioner Mary Perkins Williams,
Mary Perkins Williams, yes.
okay. Chantel Hawkins,
Chantel Hawkins, yes.
Luther Hemby,
Luther Hemby, yes.
Valerie Schulgar, I vote yes. Susan Ellsworth,
Susan Ellsworth, yes.
Phoenix Henson,
Phoenix Henson, yes.
okay. Motion passes, Chairman Lee.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now we have this new member in our committee. So Karina Deloche, can you introduce our new member to our committee?
Yeah, so we do have 2 of our members that are visiting or attending our first meeting. Before we get into our new members, I did just also want to mention that we do have 2 Pitt County staff attending our meeting tonight. We have Miss Janice Gallagher, who is our county manager. And I'll let you say something at the end. And then we have Miss Florida Hardy, who serves as our assistant county manager, as well as the director of HR. Ladies, if you have anything that you would like to say or mention, feel free to do that really quickly.
Just good evening and thank you for having us. We appreciate being part of your meeting. Thanks.
Thank you. And so what I am going to do is I'm going to also allow our new members, Miss Susan Ellsworth, as well as Miss Phoenix Henson, just briefly introduce themselves. If you can tell us what town you are representing, as well as one of the things you look forward to working with on the Human Relations Commission.
Okay, I'm Susan Ellsworth. I'm with the Village of Simpson and just looking forward to working with everybody and seeing what we can come up with for more community.
Thank you. Glad to have you here tonight.
I'm Phoenix Henson. I'm from the town of Fountain, and I also work with the city of Greenville with the housing program. So some of the things I like to see happening is, the lending issues in our country are so divided. If you have, you have, you have not. And there are so many opportunities that we can put people into homeownership, and as well as working with budgeting, credit, and counseling to help families. So that's kind of an area that I see in my field of range. But willing to serve and do whatever I can do to help move forward the board. So hi everybody. I know most of them. It's good to see you all.
Thank you, Phoenix. We look forward to having you work with us. Well, and that's going to segue me into my coordinator's report. So really quickly, if we can recall from the October meeting, Mr. Rasdorf made a recommendation to recommend the ordinance amendment. At the January 10th Board of Commissioners meeting, that recommendation to amend Section 1A of the HRC ordinance was approved. On Friday, you should have received an updated email from me, which contains that revised HRC ordinance. If you did not, do not hesitate to reach out and I can get you a new copy of that, or it can also be found on the Pitt County website. All right. Also going back 2 meetings ago, there was some concerns that were raised regarding the town of Grifton's decision to opt out from appointing a representative. And so at the December meeting, with your guidance, you guys asked for me to draft a letter requesting that the town reconsiders. Me and Chairman Lee have created that letter and it was sent out on Friday, the 14th. So I will keep you guys in the loop in regards to any response that we hear from the town of Grifton. And then really quickly, I just also want to mention, I know you guys were aware that yesterday was MLK Junior's Day. So Pitt County observed MLK Day on yesterday to celebrate the life and legacy of civil rights leader, Dr. Martin Luther King. He acknowledged and fought for systemic change, and his example is our call to action as we reflect on the work that still needs to be done for racial equality. So I did just want to make sure that we mention the celebration of MLK. And then I found one of his quotes that I thought just really relates to the things that we want to do as the HRC. And so that quote reads, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" And I think that's something that we should always consider as we especially work towards our work plan retreat and determining what our focus is and what our initiatives will be and how we can serve others. Okay. Do we have any questions about anything that I just mentioned? All right. I will go down to our next item. So during the November and December meeting, the commission members also have raised concerns about the lack of youth involvement on the council. And so at the December meeting, what we have considered with doing was just doing some additional research to get a better idea about what other local HRCs are doing as far as HRC membership. And so just to remind everyone, there are 2 different routes that we can take when it comes to increasing the amount of youth involvement on the HRC. And so I want to read those 2 options quickly. So the first option would be have the HRC make a recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners to add an additional member to the HRC, being a youth member specifically. If the board agrees, then they will advertise for a potential youth member and have the board appoint that member. That member would then serve, that member would then have full voting rights like each of you guys on the commission now. The other route would be have the HRC make a motion to appoint a youth member who will serve in a liaison capacity to the youth community. The HRC would vote on that selection, although it would not be an additional HRC board seat. So they would not have full voting rights like everyone else on the commission, but they will be recognized by the chair to participate in discussion. And if we choose to move this route, we would not have to go back to the board for any considerations. So in the research that I've done, I talked to 15 other staff liaisons from local HRCs. 4 of those, I was able to find out that they do have youth advisory councils that assist their HRC, but they are apart from the HRC. 2 of those have talked about right now that their commission members are also advocating for youth involvement. So this is something that they're also looking to do more with, but currently they do not have any youth members. And then 5 of those members or 5 of those HRCs solely consisted of adults. And then 3 of those did have a youth representative in some capacity. So after researching and speaking with other local HRCs, it's my recommendation that we consider potentially going the route of option 2, where we appoint a youth to serve in a liaison capacity, but they will not have the full voting rights. We will not make a decision on that tonight. I just ask that you take the information that I've shared, digest it a little bit, and then when we come together at our work plan retreat, we can vote on which option we would like to do as far as getting some youth involvement in our HRC. Do we have any questions about that, or is there anything that I can re-say, slow down maybe saying, or answer any questions? Any comments?
Karina, it's Mark.
Yes.
I was the one who brought that up, and while people are thinking of this, about this, I think it's healthy to discuss what we mean by youth. I just brought up at the last meeting with respect to Andrew, that I thought everybody was over 40. Interest was in making sure we had representation, and I'm not talking necessarily about college students, but anybody between 18 and 30.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear youth, I think of minors. So I want to clarify that what I intended was young adult, which to me is different than youth.
Yeah, and then Ms. Hawkins, you also raised some concerns too, as far as even going younger than 18. Would you like to provide those comments again, just so that the commission is aware?
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to make sure that those who are under 18 has the opportunity to share their views via education, via the community. We know that they do have a voice. And a lot of times when we have adults starting at 18 speaking for them, then they are mute. We know that we can cultivate them at a younger age as opposed to 18. I know we did also talk about youth under 18 perhaps collaborating with that said person who would be representing them. However, I do want to emphasize it is very important to have voices of youth as young as you can get them, because they are integral to our community. I don't know how we would put that framework together, but I think during the retreat, we can unpack it in a better way.
Thank you. And what I will say in my research, the city of Reedsville, as well as the city of Asheville, the city of Asheville has 15 members total, but 2 of those members are youth representatives ranging from 18 to 15, whereas the city of Reedsville, they have a total of 11 members and 2 of those are high school representatives. And then I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the city of Greenville, but they do have 2 slots for ECU student as well as a Pitt Community College student. So just kind of putting all of that together, there's maybe some concerns as far as to what we mean by youth. And I think, again, that I really just wanted to provide what I was able to find so that we can kind of digest this. And when we meet back at the work plan retreat, we can really settle on whether or not we mean 18 to 15, or if we're talking about high school age representation to 25 or whatever the case may be.
I would like to say something.
Yes.
First of all, I totally concur with Mrs. Hawkins. My opinion, my humble-most opinion is when it comes down to the task that we have in front of us, we need to include the youth. That's the new blood. No disrespect to any of us, particularly myself or whoever may be older, but what we're looking at is older people, old folks. Let's keeping it real with you guys. We need to bring them in. That's the future of what we're going to be doing. That's the fresh air, the fresh breath. We need that to pour that into the vein of what we're doing if we're going to be successful. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you for your time.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead, Ms. Williams.
I did put up my raise your hand thing because I wanted to be in order. What I like to say is, I think it will be very good since this is a countywide human relation committee, and we want to groom some future county leaders and some government officials. And I think it would be good for us to have a subcommittee because the issues that we face may not be what you to say. They can meet one from each high school. Come from the student government. I guess they have student governments in the high schools, but that way we will have all of the areas involved, and they may have issues to bring before the board or to send to the board. I mean, and then maybe have a joint meeting once every so often, or once a quarter or whatever. But I really think that involving the youth is worthwhile. We need some government leaders, future leaders, and this is their opportunity. And having each school student government point someone, I think will be great.
I think it is a matter about the youth involvement. We can discuss about this matter during our retreat. This is all the business we can just, you have your concern, your word you maybe can share. And however, we can able to put it up during our retreat to decide it, whether we can include the youth or liaison purpose of it or whatever we may be necessary. We can discuss about it during our retreat. Okay. Do you have any comment or any more concern about this youth involvement? Okay, if we do not, then let's move on to our new business. Okay, we do need to talk about this. We need to discuss about it. This date for our work plan retreat. We like to do it sometime in February. We have several dates available, and I think it is because of a time consumed. If it is possible, if you like to suggest this way, if you think it's not permissible, and maybe we can able to tell whether it is not available that day. Maybe we can excluding those days, because you decided that day is not available. Then we can able to move on to the most available date, and we can vote on it. Okay, we can choose maybe 2 days or this most available people's. Then we can decide it to this final decision on to the vote to maybe 2 available that. If it is okay with it, maybe I'd like to suggest this way. Is that okay? Now, how about Karina? Is that okay with that this way? Or
It's really quickly. It's my recommendation that we decide on a date tonight, but I recommend that we keep that same time frame of 3 to 6 p.m. because when we had first decided on voting for a potential work plan date retreat time, the 3 to 6 p.m. time frame works the best. So Chairman Lee, I think if everybody is in agreement that the 3 to 6 p.m. time frame still works, then I'm okay with going your route of deciding the top 2 dates.
okay, can we asking number one, it is we like to keep it as 3 to 6 p.m. whichever date we decided. Is that okay? Do you have any problem, concern about these matters? And can you make a comment on that if you have any concerns? If you do not have any concern, we can consider, is that okay? Then we can able to discuss about the date. And it is, we can set the time as 3 to 6, and we can choose the date. Okay. Miss Karina suggested this. There's a few days available. One is February 8th, Tuesday, February 10th, Thursday, February 14th, Monday, February 18th, Friday, February 22nd, Tuesday, February 24th, Thursday. Maybe we can think about it. February 8th, 10th, 14th, 18th, 22nd, 24th. Maybe we can say one at a time, and I'll ask if you are not available, if it is not good day for you, maybe this you can say or raise your hand that day you are not available. Then we can see we have most people is available day. We can choose the 2 out of 1, and then this we can decide it 1. Then make this our meeting going a little faster that way, if you don't mind. Okay. Now we have February 8th. Do you have this any problem? If you cannot make it February 8th, can you just raise your hand so we know that you cannot be there February 8th? Just raise your hand, and that we'd like to see how many people there. 1, 2, 3 people cannot be. Okay, now how about the February 10th? You cannot be there. We have 1 person.
Mine was for the 8th. I was looking at the calendar.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, this yours. You cannot be there February this. Okay. How
What
about
was
the
the
February
time? What was the time?
time is 3 to 6 p.m. Okay. Now we're going again February 10th. If he cannot be there, we have 1 person cannot be there. Okay. Now, how about the February 14th? It's not going to be work for you. Just raise your hand. I'm not sure. It is a Valentine's Day, so I'm sure some people. Oh, we have 5 people don't want to do it. Okay. And then February 18th. February 18th, if you have a schedule already. Okay, we have 2. Okay. How about the February 22nd? February 22nd is not going to be work for you. Raise your hand. Oh, nobody. And then February 24th is not work for you. Raise your hand. And even myself is not going to be work. Okay, 2. So far,
Chairman,
yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, really quickly, if we cannot decide on a date tonight, what we can do is just use our regular monthly HRC meeting for February 15th, since everybody is already aware that we meet on the 3rd Tuesday, but we would just adjust our time frame to match the 3 to 6. So that is also an option.
Okay, February 15. Okay. We have this another option. If we do meet the February the 15th, that's the Tuesday. And then if you want to come on Tuesday, 3 to 6 o'clock, which is the extent of this our meeting time. If you have any problem on that day, raise your hand. February 15th. We have 1 person. Okay, then looks like February 24, February 10th, February 15th, 3 days is this most people is available.
I'm sorry, quick question. Phoenix, does the time frame for the 15th not work for you?
That's my problem, because I have a thing from a class thing I'm taking that's from 3 to 5. So I wouldn't be able to do but the last hour. So,
Okay.
I mean, I could get to the meeting at 6 o'clock. That's not a problem for me. It's that it's earlier.
Okay, so just taking that into consideration, commission members, would you guys be against changing the work plan retreat from a 6 to 9 meeting?
I won't be on the 15th at all.
Didn't the 22nd work for nobody put their hands up?
I'll refer it back to you, Chairman Lee. Which other dates?
Yes, yeah, 22nd, everybody seems to be available that day. And then this seems to be this, I think 22nd of February might be this a good days, even if this already this everybody's available. Then we can just vote it on that. Okay.
Mhm.
So we have a February 22nd is available. Do you have a motions to do it?
Make a motion, Chairman.
Okay. Do you have a second? Anybody second?
Second. Andrew Shue,
Okay.
second.
All right. All in favors? So you got to do this, Mrs. Shager, so we got to do it again, or you got
Yeah.
calling names, please?
Yeah, we gotta do the roll call. Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I just missed that. So who did the second?
Andrew
Okay.
Shue, second.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, Mark Rasdorf,
Yes.
okay,
Krasdorf, yes.
all right. Oh, here you go, I'm sorry. Ivory Mewborn,
Yes, Mewborn.
okay. Carl Wilson,
Yes, Wilson.
okay. John Moore,
That's John Moore, but while I've got a moment, I'm gonna have to leave this meeting in about 50. So I'll be exiting shortly from now.
okay. Juan Garcia. I'll come back to you, Mr. Garcia.
Yes.
Byung Lee, yes, okay. Byung Lee,
Yes, Young Lee.
all right. Amy Hatton,
Yes, Amy Haddam.
Andrew Shue. Oh, you're muted.
Andrew Shue, yes.
Mary Perkins Williams,
Mary Perkins Williams, yes. 3 to 6, yes.
okay. Chantel Hawkins,
Yes, Chantel Hawkins.
Chantel, I'm sorry. Luther Hemby,
Luther, yes.
okay. Susan Ellsworth,
Susan Ellsworth, yes.
oh, I'm sorry, skip myself. Valerie Sugar, yes. Phoenix Henson,
Phoenix Henson, yes.
motion passes, Chair Lee.
Thank you, everyone. This motion approved and a motion passed. Thank you. Now we can going on to the next one. We do have this another new agenda. Actually, I suggested if you allow me this, I would like to this share that my thought and my concern. Is that okay, this Karina? This okay.
Really quickly, he's referring to the 2 letters that were sent in the email on Friday as well. So if you have your computer up or email up, please use that as a reference.
I suggested we'd like to have this our Human Relations Council to making it this proclamations and also this our Pitt County Commissioner. Chairperson of the Pitt County Commissioners to making it the proclamations. This is something like this. It's called this Taegukgi Day. It's meaning of this Taeguk, and it is this related to this Human Relations Commissions. This our goals and purposes about the same. Just to only saying the Korean word. The meaning of a Taeguk is this balance of nature, balance of humankind, and a harmony, and then togetherness, inclusiveness, understanding, and respect each other's. And because of this meaning, and then I'm not sure you know about some of the history, and Northern Pacific Railway adopted this concept, this business models and logos, and then around this 1896, and then this is some of the logos they are using it. This concept of a Taeguk in Korean word. They used it. Their logo was it because of a balance of humans and balance of and harmony. They did it, and until 1986 to 1970, they used it as a concepts and logo. And then after this, the company was merged to this Burlington Northern Rails. They used the different logos. However, this concept is the very much this related to our human relations commissions. So this meaning of TEGOG is again, it's very much this related to what we trying to do. It's just the balance between this all the different race, different people, and then this respecting, honoring, and then so we trying to harmony together. And then there's one other word this in Korea we using 홍익 인간. It is representing, it is this broadly benefit all mankind through the TEGOG, which is a balance between nature and human beings, and also respecting each other, other nature, other peoples. So we're hoping this concept to be this we can declare, and this month of March. And the month of March, we do not have this any kind of a special agenda for it. So if we can able to recognize the month of March 1st as it is proclamate as a 태극기 Day. It's a Korean word, and as it is about meaning related to our Human Relations Commission. But also this the month of March 1st, it's a very unique day for this Korea. Korea was a human rights movement also happened March 1st in Korea, non-violence movement against Japanese oppression. During the time, Korean people was a stand up against the Japanese people's oppression, but no non-violence related. So this movement influenced to India. This Gandhi's movement, non-violence movement was this more grow stronger because of this March movement in Korea happened. And also this movement influenced to Egypt, their national movement against England at the time that influenced that. And also this influence was this made it Turkish national movement happening in Turkey. And in this China, May 4th movement in China, it was related to non-violence movement to against the human rights. So I think March is this meaningful month, and this month of this March 1st is this meaningful month for the Korean, but it is this something related to this concepts of Korea, but we can able to adapt into this our Human Relations Commission. So I would like to suggest if we can able to this proclamate and then 태극기 Day as it is March 1st, as this name is this just a Korean word. However, it is this meaning is this what we are trying to do it, and then this I think it is will be very meaningful to Korean people. But there's a funny thing about it. It is a Korean this movement, a human rights movement was actually ideas originated from this Woodrow Wilson president. His ideas, national Wilsonism. We know that this Wilsonism. Its idea was to come from there. Korea was this believe and trying to do something with this concept and then built into it human rights movement in March 1st in Korea. So I'm just hoping this is we suggested it and then making a proclamation by this our county chairperson. And then we can able to this suggest maybe this hope to be our state governor and do the same thing. So I am asking our commissions to do the 태극기 Day. If it's just the word is 태극기, the meaning is HLC, is about same. That's what I'm suggesting. So March 1st is this meaningful day for this Korean people. And matter of fact, 2 days, 13th of January is a Korean American Day. Just about 1903, Korean people came to America as a worker, but they worked as like a slave during the time first time they arrived at Hawaii. But it is there was this one of the things that is that's related into it. So not only for the Korean, but it will be this meaningful to this some Asian community too.
Chairman Lee.
Yes.
So just to clarify, are you requesting that we support this request to the Pitt County Board of Commissioners? Because they would be the ones to be able to do the proclamation and then possibly take it up to like a state level or something like that, maybe a request of the governor. Is that what the request is? And that would be
Yes,
March
yes.
1st, Taguki Day.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And just I'm asking you guys just support so we can able to our Pitt County commissioners to this making proclamations, maybe take it to this state level. Just asking support, yes. Do you have this any question or comment?
I have a comment.
Yes,
Evidently, I must need a darker background because I placed my hand up. I read this, the day is March the 1st. That's what you're saying, right? As titled,
yeah, Taguki Day is the March the 1st.
okay. I certainly support it, and just reading what it is, it's just beautiful. I'd like to make the motion that we support the suggestion made by our chairman, Mr. Lee. It is giving me more information, and it broadened my perspective of various cultures. I've not heard of this one before, and I've looked into a lot of cultures when I was at the university, and this was one I missed. And I thank you for bringing it up. And I just love what it has to say. And I like to offer motion that we support this effort.
Thank you. Do you have this any second for it?
I second it.
We got a second, and then all in favors. Now we got to call in this Miss Secretary.
Okay. Mark Rasdorf.
Rasdorf, yes.
Okay. Ivory Mewborn.
Yes, move on.
Okay. Carl Wilson.
Yes, Wilson.
Okay. John Moore.
Yes.
Okay. Juan Garcia.
Yes.
Okay. Byung Lee.
Yes, Byung Lee.
Okay. Amy Haddam.
Yes, Amy Haddam.
Okay. Andrew Shue.
Andrew Shue, yes.
Mary Perkins Williams.
Mary Perkins Williams. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. You called my name.
Yeah. Chantel Hawkins.
Yes, Chantel Hawkins.
Okay. Luther Hemby.
Yes, Luther Hemby.
Valerie Sugar, yes. Susan Ellsworth.
Yes.
Okay. And Phoenix Henson.
Yes.
Okay. Motion passes, Chairman Lee.
Thank you very much for supporting it. This we hope to be this take it to this Pitt County commissioners to this making it as a proclamation. Thank you very much. And next agenda we can move on to. Do you have this any community announcement you like to making any announcement for this any event, anything you are doing it? Anybody?
Miss Perkin Williams, you're muted. You have to unmute really quickly.
March is also Women History Month. Let's be inclusive. So I guess coming from a Human Relations Council, Human Relations Month is March.
Thank you.
For women.
Women.
I'm sorry.
Any other comment or this announcement would like to make?
Chairman Lee, I'd like to make a suggestion.
Yes, Mark, yes.
Relative to what Ms. Perkins Williams just said, it might be, Karina, if we have time on the agenda for the February 22nd meeting, it might be worth it for all of us to take stock of the entire 12-month calendar so that rather than taking a scattershot approach to what the Human Relations Council is supporting, we can plan it out. And I fully support Chairman Lee your letter. But every month, there's lots of identities to be recognized. And maybe February 22nd is a good time for us to take inventory of that and decide how we as a council are going to support that and which ones we're going to recognize.
I think that's a very good idea.
Because for our campus, March is also Trans Visibility Month, Transgender Visibility on March 31st with Trans Visibility Day.
That's really good point. So what I can do is I can make an agenda item for that. So we can just kind of look over the HRC calendar that was provided to us from the state level, and then also make our own adjustments as to what we will be celebrating and what we want to make sure that we're providing some notice to. So I made note of that. I think this is Mr. Dawson. I see you have your hand up. Did you have a comment that you wanted to share as well?
Well, I just wanted to, I'm echoing, I apologize. But I too support Chairman Lee's motion. And just want.
Somehow we got disconnected. I think we got to come back to you. Maybe is there anybody else making a comment or announcement?
I just like the fact that we're gonna do a calendar, put all the months on all the days, and then no one will feel left out. I think that's a great suggestion. Mr. Will made that. I think that's great.
Yes, I think so. I think so. That's very good ideas. Okay, it do not have this anymore announcement. And do you have a motions to adjourn? And oh wow, we're finishing pretty early today.
Chairman Lee.
Yes.
This is Reverend Hemby. I apologize. I didn't know what the next was on the agenda. I wanted to wait to the end. May I make two statements or in the form of a question before we make a motion to end?
Mm-hmm.
In the work that we all do, most of us working with people in the community, and I know this may sound strange coming from a reverend of the cross, but we have to be respectful for all individuals that we work with. And that means anybody that we serve in the community. My first statement, and I don't know how to ask this, and I want it to be included because we're going to be dealing with, individuals in the community. If we can have, and I can teach it or I can introduce it, gender pronouns. I think it's something that, when I first started the work that I'm in 2016, a lot of people will laugh and make fun, of people's pronouns, and we have to be very respectful of what people choose to be called and they go by. And in the work that we do, and especially the Human Relations Commission, I think it would be of most importance to be educated and be informed what gender pronouns are and how to approach somebody, because I was told by one of the doctors on my job that if you get it wrong the first time, it's fine because you didn't know. But if someone requests to be called by a certain pronoun, you have to respect that. I just wanted to ask, I didn't know how to put that in there. And then secondly, Chairman, I spoke with the mayor of Winterville, and we all know that Representative Tony Moore will not be representing, and the mayor have his email. I don't know the format. If I'm out of order, please correct me. I have his email to give to whomever to reach out to him. I think he's going to be representing. Well, let me leave it there. I just have his email. Thank you all.
So to your comments really quickly, I did want to mention as far as Tony Moore resigning from the town of Winterville, we did have an appointment. So Mayor Ricky Hines is going to be our representative for the town of Winterville, but it has to be approved by the Board of Commissioners first. So it is on the February 7th Pitt County Board of Commissioners meeting. So hopefully Mr. Hines will be in attendance at both the work plan retreat and our regular meeting on February. And going back to your mention of pronouns, and Mark, you weren't at the last meeting in December, but Lee gave you a big shout out because she attended one of your Safe Zone classes, and she mentioned at the meeting in December that this is something that would be useful. So I wanted to just highlight Mr. Hemby's comment again, that if this is something, since Mr. Rasdorf is the director of the LGBTQ Center at ECU, if this is something that you would potentially be open to providing us a presentation with, that would be great. Not to put you on the spot, but since Mr. Hemby raised that point, I thought it would be a good time to let you have any remarks to that as well.
I'm happy to do it. And so, y'all, I was sick in December, so I'm sorry I couldn't be there. And depending on when we have time for it, I could also try to put together a panel of folks who might, from lived experience, help you understand why it's important to include this at the introduction, not based on how you perceive a human being.
So I'll get with you and as well as the executive committee, and we'll talk about what you could potentially do for the February meeting.
The meeting or the retreat, Karina?
The meeting, so we can use our retreat time specifically for our work plan retreat.
Sure. Okay, absolutely.
Thank you.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Is that Mr. Mark? Is that going to be a program, or is that going to be an educational process for us? Because I need that education, but I just want to know what I'm trying to say is, what is it going to be? Is it going to be a program for everybody who wants to attend, or is it going to be an education process for this board? That's all. I'm not trying to make it. I just want to know, because I don't know. I'm behind on that. Can I say that? I'm not trying to.
No, you're good. I hear you with respect.
Educate me, but is it going to be a program that everybody in the community, in the county, can tune in if they want to and get that? Because if I'm open-minded, but I tell you, I don't understand the pronouns and stuff, and I don't know what I'm supposed to use, whatever, and I don't want to offend anybody. So I think it'd be a good program for us. Not us as in the HR commission, but a good program for the county on a broader base. I guess I'm not saying it right, but I think it'll be a good program.
So really quickly, if I can just insert, my idea of having Mark present was just going to be an educational presentation for the HRC. I think especially after we have our work plan retreat and we figure out what specific initiatives we want to focus on, I think then we can come back to the idea of potentially creating a program that the community can utilize. But at this moment, I don't want to overwhelm Mark with having to, think that this is going to be a full Pitt County thing. I think right now we just really want to focus on HRC members getting a better understanding about the pronouns and how we can potentially grow that out.
And Karina, I would just add to that. I think we do something as a starting point at the February meeting, and then somewhere down the road, based on Ms. Perkins-Williams' enthusiasm, the Pitt County Human Rights Commission might partner with the Dr. Jesse R. Peel LGBTQ Center to offer a safe zone training for anybody interested from Pitt County, and we could figure out where to do that. That's a 3-hour commitment, y'all, which is different than a overview kind of experience that I think Karina, you're talking about.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for clarifying.
The answer is yes to both.
Perfect. Did we have any other comments on that end? Or I'm gonna turn it back to you, Chairman Lee, I'm sorry.
Okay, do we have any other announcement, any comments? Then do you have a motion to adjourn?
I make
Oh,
the
yes.
motion.
Okay, any second?
Mary
Second.
Perkins Williams, second.
Okay, all right, this, all in favors? Okay, motion approved. This, thank you, everybody. This meeting is adjourned. We see you next time. Okay,
Chairman
hope to
Lee,
see you face to face. Yes, I'm sorry, yes. You
Yeah,
got
I
to do
know
it, right?
it's,
Yeah, we
yeah.
got to do it, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, it's a little nitpicky, but these are the
Yeah.
rules.
Yes,
Um,
sorry, yes.
and you're fine. Mark Rasdorf,
Mark Rasdorf, yes.
okay. Ivory Newborn,
Ivory Newborn, yes.
Carl Wilson,
Yes.
okay. John Moore, and I believe he has left the meeting. Juan Garcia. Oh, I don't see him. Byung Lee,
Yes,
okay. Amy Haddam,
Yes, Amy Haddam.
okay. Andrew Shue,
Andrew Shue, yes.
okay. Mary Perkins Williams,
Yes.
Chantel Hawkins, or excuse me, Chantel Hawkins,
Yes, Chantel Hawkins.
okay. Carlton, just in case you're still there, Carlton Dawson. Okay, Luther Hemby,
Dawson, yes.
okay, gotcha. Luther Hemby,
Luther Hemby, yes.
all right. Valerie Shuelgar, yes. Susan Ellsworth,
Yes.
Phoenix Henson,
Yes.
okay, and I'll come back to you. Juan Garcia, I see you now. Okay, and motion passes, Chair.
thank you, everybody, and see you next time. Have a great night. Okay,